Okay, good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to this next episode of FPL Family with me, Lee, and this is Sam. Now, picture the scene, guys. Picture the scene. We had a lovely Saturday this weekend.
Oh, we did.
Oh, what a lovely Saturday, Sam. We spent loads of time with the kids. Max had football training in the morning as usual, which was great. We went to the O2, one of the premier music venues, didn't we, in the UK? Absolutely sensational. Went to the Capital Jingle Bell Ball. It was so good. We took the kids out for a bit of food, didn't we? They had a great time. Ed Sheeran was on. Ed Sheeran.
5 appeared out of the blue.
Come
Everybody get.
We had Ray. We had Anne Marie. It was such a good day. Absolutely loved it. It was one of the highlights.
I was happy because Spurs had won at home.
One of the highlights of my year, that Capital Jingle Bell Ball, and we went there last year, and it was absolutely sensational. I was fully in.
Yep.
I had a proper day where I was like, right, phone off. Even though Liverpool were playing at the time, I was like, right, don't even worry about check it. Just like, it's fine. I was seeing the scores flash up. Couldn't believe what was going on. We'll come to that in a minute. But I was like, right, I'm in. The kids are here. I'm present. I'm in the moment. I'm being a good dad. I'm missing the football. I'm in for the Jingle Bell Ball. We had a wicked time. And despite Liverpool drawing, I was still having a wonderful, wonderful time.
Mm-hmm.
We get in the car. And for the first time that evening, get in the car on the drive back, I checked my phone. All out war at Anfield. It's just descended into apps like, I don't even have the word. I'm going to try and find the words because I've already had a few of you on the Slack. Thank you, Slackers, and a few on Twitter saying, what do you make of what's going on? And at the time, coming back from the O2 yesterday, I'm not sure I was really in the right frame of mind to process it because I've had such a good day. I think if I'd had a crap day, I'd have been like, I can process this.
Because even as you're reading it to me, you don't, because you're like, have you seen this? And I'm like, what?
Couldn't process it.
And you're like, let me read it to you. So you start reading me what Salah says. And I'm like, what? And you're like, I don't know. And then we just sort of sit there while I'm driving home and you're like, I don't know what to make of it.
It's a civil war at Liverpool right now. As it says on the thumbnail, guys, I want to hear from you, Liverpool fan or not. I'd like to hear from you in the chat. I'd like to hear from you in the comments what you think about this. I think there is some FPL relevance to this, I think we've got
a lot of us, when Gabriel got injured a few weeks ago, you and I both as well, bought in Virgil.
Yeah.
A lot of people are invested in the likes of Szoboszlai, or maybe still got Gakpo, or maybe they've taken a punt on an Ep20 or an Isak. Now, all of them, I think what the situation with Salah does have an impact on us in FPL because, as you say, this isn't just Salah spat his dummy out. This has an impact on...
Oh, it's more than a dummy.
All right, all the dummies and the toys and everything else, they're all out the pram. But it does have a broader impact, doesn't it? Because it casts a light on, or it suggests that there is a bigger issue when he's saying, the manager, there's clearly an issue with me and the manager, and I didn't think there was an issue, but now there maybe is an issue. All of that makes you think, well, what on earth is going on in the Liverpool dressing room? And therefore, do I want to be invested from an FPL perspective?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. Let's say hello to a few people, Sam. Then I'll give some thoughts on...
some thoughts.
And I'm sure you have as well.
I will sit here and let you give your thoughts, and then I will share my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have plenty of thoughts about your team. And I've noticed George is in already this evening, Sam. He's here already. We do need to discuss that game, George, I'm afraid.
He was being a little bit...
Was he? He's giving it a bit, was he?
He was giving
before
it a
the Brentford
bit.
Spurs game.
And
Okay, then.
And I was
all
like...
right. All right.
And I said all week, we are better than you, George, when it comes to playing each other. We always have the edge over you. They're our good team to play against. If Spurs need a win, get Brentford in.
And actually, indirectly, I'd been giving it a bit as well. Not directly, but I'd bought Thiago in this week.
Yeah, because we get in the car to drive to the O2. The deadline's passed. I take an Evie dancing. You take a Max to football. We're not gender typically stereotyping at all with that football and dancing.
George is in, Sam. He says he wasn't saying that at all. In fact, he says you called him delusional. He says
I did, because he was saying that they were going to beat us 2-1, and I was like, I don't see it, George. I can't see it. We never win, even in our terrible Postecoglou days. Anyway, we'll get to that later.
We'll talk about Spurs.
Get in the car.
We'll talk about
and you
Spurs.
I go, what did you actually do with your FPL team? And you went, well, you won't like it, but I've brought in Thiago. And I was like, you should have listened to me. I'm telling you.
Well, it was one of those where, and most of you will have, absolutely, for all of you to figure this out by now, we have now, if you look in the app, you'll have 5 free transfers, right? New for this season, 5 free transfers. We've all been topped up, right? I'm actually not sure on my FPL team whether 5 is enough. But I've got 5 free transfers. I've spent one already. We'll talk about that a bit later. I've done one already. So when you come to see my team for next week, I've got 4 free transfers in the bank. That's because one is already spent. But again, comments, get in the chat, tell us what you're planning to do with the 5 free transfers. New for this season, we've never seen it before. African Cup of Nations is here. We spoke about it pre-season, didn't we, before game week 1. Do we really need 5 extra transfers to worry about the likes of Salah and Mbeumo and others? Well, the reality is we ain't got Salah, so if you've got Mbeumo, maybe you need to sort something out there. But
yeah, but I think most of us need 5 free transfers, not for AFCON, but for just the mess.
You're 100% true. I'm happy with my 5. I've got no AFCON worries whatsoever, but I've got plenty
it's
of FPL
funny,
worries.
because I remember back at the beginning of the season when they first announced that we were going to get these transfers, that we all kicked off. We were like, wow, we don't want this. we don't want this. We're going to plan for AFCON.
No,
Why have you done this? You've let the casuals, you're giving the casuals an advantage. What are you doing? Now I'm thinking, why'd you give me 10? I don't need help for AFCON. I've got no African players, not one. I don't have any, but my team is a mess. So
Nick
please
Holden,
can I have
she
more?
said, honestly, I need another full wild card, never mind 5. and Kingdom FC's, we all want 7 or 8. I mean, you're absolutely right, guys.
Both
you're right.
of you
But I do totally agree with you. Pre-season, not many of us were for this, if you remember.
No, we were
not
all
many
angry
not
about
many
it.
of us were pro
The
this as a
content creators
change.
all fuming.
Now we get to that point where we get the 5 and we're all rubbing our hands with glee because I've got so much crap in my team. I've still got Reinders.
Yeah, but that worked out all right in midweek. The guys haven't seen us since midweek.
Well,
you
that's
had a
true.
good week.
Midweek was all right.
We both went
Midweek.
good. Why
Game
didn't
week
we
14.
stream after that, Lee?
14 was all right. 15,
We should have streamed then.
15 might still be. We'll see how
be
Bruno
all right.
gets on, right? We'll see how Bruno gets on. But anyway, loads and loads to discuss. I'll give my Liverpool opinions in just a second. We will discuss that. We'll do all the teams as well, including Spurs, Brentford. We'll talk about our teams, our FPL teams, how we've got on, and then we'll have a look at, not just what next week looks like in terms of our bus teams, but you've put a slide together that talks about, okay, what are the core topics, if you like. We've got the 5 free transfers. Lee, what are the top 3 things you've got to address with those 5?
Well, you've already done one, so you only got 2 things.
So I've got 2 things, and then for you've got a whole list of things. As I thought I had it bad. You put this slide together, and I've got, okay, well, these are my 2 priorities, 3 priorities. You've gone, bang. Here's the 7 things I've got to sort out. Right, okay, good. We'll get to
I've got issues. In fact, I filled your team. I filled the bottom bit under yours, which you'll see in a minute, with 3 player pictures, because Lee had such a short list. And I was looking at it thinking, have you only got 2 issues? I've got all these issues. Anyway.
So many things to sort out.
Too many issues.
The 5 free transfers.
Best in the
Very welcome.
world. Problem after problem right now.
Very, very welcome.
Agreed.
Louise B is in. Very nice to see you, Louise. Simon is here. Nigel the Crab. Hello, mate.
Hey,
nice
Si.
to see you. Nice to see you. Steve Elbows is here. That's a new name. Not heard you been
Hello,
before. Steve Elbows, welcome. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, mate. You know it makes sense. Jack Benham is here. Hey, Jack. Nice to see you. Torben Nilsson, as always, a very regular here
now.
on a Sunday night. Torben, nice to see you, mate. Azzy, the Smiths, very good. He says, anyone got any chips still? Can he borrow some? I don't know if you've got any chips left. Well, you got 3 hit left. No,
triple
TC.
cap.
Yeah, TC.
Might be deploying it.
For next week.
Maybe.
Because that is now... is he on a little bit of a dry spell, the big man, isn't he? And it's a bit... Well, I certainly had 18 earmarked for it. The West Ham... 17. Sorry, West Ham at home for City in 17. That for sure when I was looking to play it. But,
Low key, though, if you did play it in 17 against West Ham... Mr. Foden instead?
Well, maybe. I mean, we'll have that discussion, I'm sure.
Let's
We'll have
talk
that
about it
discussion.
later.
Actually, last couple of games, West Ham improved a bit.
I did say that.
A bit. I mean, not a lot, but a bit,
Scored some goals,
Waffle Coffee TV is in.
Brilliant.
Nice to see you,
Love that
Waffle
name.
Coffee TV with the waving emoji. Nice to have you along. Richard Lohman is here. Hey, Richard. We have got Brian SL. Nice to see you, Brian. Samson is in. Mark Nash, Chris B. We've got Chatterbox is in again. Hey, Chatterbox, could Foden be a better TC than Haaland? There you go. I think he agrees.
We'll discuss
I think
it
he
later.
agrees. We will. We absolutely will. We've got Scott Schrager, the OG, is still here with us, Sam, from the very first day, of FPL Family. How long have we been going?
Scott was the first person to ever listen to an FPL Family video.
8 or 9 people. 8 or 9 people. 8 or 9 years we've been doing this, and Scott was there watching us when we had the horrible green curtains in the background and no lighting. Do you
I
remember
noticed that you deployed a picture, Lee, from FPL
Oh, you're going
Family
to talk about the sofa thing?
in midweek. And the guys, and I said, the guys posted it in the Slack, because I don't do Twitter. The guys posted it in the Slack, and I said, where's that photo come from?
Oh, yeah.
And they said, why? And I said, that's about 8 years old. And they said, Lee doesn't look 8 years older.
No, it's a picture from ages ago.
Yeah, but they reckoned you
I
looked...
just had it in my phone.
Just looked
Oh, look the same.
Look the same.
Oh, take that.
I said you'd be delighted with that.
I'll take that, yeah. I was about 36 in that picture, 41 now, I'll take that.
No, Lee, we've been here 6 years.
Have we?
That's in the old house. That's 8 years old.
No, it's
That
not.
is 8 years old, that picture.
Holy
we don't
shit.
even have that
All
sofa
right.
anymore. We need to get a new picture hide behind.
All right, I'll take it.
But you behind a different sofa.
If you lot haven't... Steve elbows it. Lee must have been sleeping in Vardy's oxygen tent or something like that.
Doesn't look
Steve.
any older.
Yeah, appreciate
Very
that,
different.
mate. Right, so that's... Everyone's said hello to. Very nice to see you. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense.
Settle in, guys. Settle in. Settle in.
We have to discuss it. I have to get this off my chest.
Here comes a
little
monologue.
bit. We have to get this out there before we do the games and stuff. People are asking me what I think of it. People are asking me whether I'm Team Slot or Team Salah. I have to tell you, I don't think I'm either. First of all, let's address the Salah thing. It's not right what he's done. It's not right, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it. Remember when we were faffing about with the contract situation middle of last season with him and Van Dijk? Do you remember? And Salah's one of those players. He's a pretty quiet guy. He rarely comes out to do the kind of post-match interviews, unless he's bagged that trick or something, right? Man of the match or everything. Then he'll come out and say a few words. But he rarely, and particularly recently, and I find myself agreeing with Jamie Carragher a little bit here. And recently, we've been going through a sticky patch. I think if I'm being nice, we're going through a sticky patch, right? If I was being less nice, I'd say we're shite at the minute. Now, he's not come out and said much, right? Post-match or otherwise, he's not said a lot. But in the middle of last season, when he was looking to get that contract done, he came into the mixed zone, again, not in a sort of an official speak to anybody, but he came into the mixed zone, which is when as the players are leaving out to go to the bus, you've got all the journos there just with their phones out, just taking recordings, right? You know it's going on social media, right? You know it. And he had this kind of premeditated speech about, all sorts of stuff. But
it was something along the lines of, I don't really know what's happening, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't really know what's happening with my contract, and I'm open-minded, all that sort of stuff. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, he gets his contract, right? So it's him forcing an issue, right? So he's got previous here.
Basically.
He's got previous. Now, fast forward, I think it was at Anfield again, after the Southampton game, if I remember. Now, fast forward to Ellen Road at the weekend, same thing happens, right? Again, he's not come out after the game. It's down to Dominic Szoboszlai to come out and talk about the game. And even Szoboszlai in his post-match interview talks about, it's just gone down a bit in the dressing room, but what goes on in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. He more or less said those words. Well, 10, 15 minutes later, what goes on in the dressing room, Salah reports to
Norwegian press.
To the whatever press in the open area. Now, I know it was the Norwegian press, but it's the open area. It could be me and you with a phone there, right? And then we put it on social media. Anything can happen, right?
We could go and do that.
Salah knows that what he says is going to be quoted. He knows it's going on social media. He knows that people are going to take it for what it is.
And it's a weird speech as well, because it doesn't feel like something he's off the cuff said.
No.
It feels like he's thought about it and there's a plan to say those words today.
Yes. And listen, and there's a lot of people watching this. There'll be a lot of people watching this back that love Mo Salah. Me too.
Oh, Lee adores Salah.
Me too. This guy he's a generational talent. He's been probably our best player of this generation, certainly of the Klopp era.
Yeah, for sure. You're a big Salah
and
big
I am.
Salah fan.
How can I not be?
No, you are.
How can I not be?
You are a big Salah fan. You never say anything bad against Salah, never.
But what he's done here is wrong. It's wrong. And he's gone about it in the wrong way. And the words that he's using, I've been thrown under the bus, all that sort of stuff. It's a bit like, and the other thing is that we as FPL players, we're tracking the stats, right? We know what his performances have been like earlier this season, right? There's a reason none of us have got him in FPL.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
He's been poor.
There's a reason. And even when you watch him on the eye test, how many times have I said to you, he's not pressing with the same amount of... And there's others in the team that are equally culpable. But he's a leader. He's one of the highest paid, if not, I think, the highest paid player in the club. I'd be surprised if he's not. He's got to be putting a shift in. And he hasn't been. And the stats are bearing out. And he's not having a good time. So Slot has decided that he wants to change it up and try something different. Now, as a Liverpool fan, I'm going, okay. Yep. And actually, in the last 3 games, bear in mind, we were absolute crap before that and lost every week. We've got, 2 draws and a win in the last 3.
Yeah, and we said for a while before this that you have to prep for AFCON, right? And the fact that Salah's off soon. So we weren't surprised, I don't think, to see a little bit more trying stuff without Salah there.
Well, I don't know. I am surprised. I thought he would keep playing him until the AFCON.
Even after the first game when they dropped him, it went well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised to not see him in the team 3 games in a row, as he is, clearly, right? But you can't then go and say what he said in the open way that he said, right? You go and speak to the manager, of course, right? It's a bit like, and I said this to you when we were watching Max today, when we were watching London Colney Tigers, who won again today. 3 wins on the spin. They're absolutely flying. They are flying. But I said it's a bit like if Max didn't play, if his manager at London Colney Tigers didn't play Max at all for 3 games in a week. You know, it's a bit like Max coming and whinging at us and being like, "Oh, I'm not playing," and we say, "Oh, okay, don't worry, Max. Okay, let me go and speak to the manager about playing you." No, I'd say to him, "Well, mate, come on, you can't get down about it. Get your finger out, start running, put a bit more in training, and all the rest of it."
We are
right?
a bit different to the standard parents.
No,
though.
but stop it. You understand my point.
I do.
You understand my point.
Yeah.
We're not. I wouldn't pander to him.
No,
that's what Salah's looking for from the fans. He's looking for the fans to go, "Oh, you're right, Mo. Not playing you, is he? Oh dear, we all should be slot out."
No, do you think that is what he's doing?
Yes.
I don't think he's doing that.
What do you think he's doing then?
I think he's going, "Hello, Saudis, come and get me."
Well, he's doing that as well, isn't he?
I don't think this is about you. I think he's just trying to get an out now. He's clearly had a falling out with the manager. He wants an out because he's had enough and he's looking to put the blame somewhere else. So the blame's on you and I want an out. So that when in January an offer comes in from the Saudis for however much,
which
and Liverpool accept it, the fans look at Salah and don't blame him. That's all he's looking at.
You guys are saying I disagree. It's fine to disagree. And you guys are saying club legend getting treated like this. I disagree, Lee. Listen, he is a club legend, and it's okay if you disagree with me. There'll be plenty that do, right? Because there's plenty that love Mo Salah, and I think there's a bit of a generational dichotomy in thinking here, right? I'm somewhere in the middle, right? I'm 41 years old. I've been following Liverpool for most of my life. I'm in somewhere in the middle of kind of the younger generation and the older generation. I think generally speaking, the older generation will look at it and go, well, no one's bigger than the club. No one's bigger than the club. Forget it. But there will be a lot of younger Liverpool fans where Mo Salah has been their life.
Yeah, legend.
And Liverpool have won trophy after trophy in the last few years because of Mo Salah. And they will say, how can you treat Mo Salah like this?
Yeah,
and I'm somewhere in between, I think.
And I think I tend to err on the same side as you do. Like, and we've had this a few times over the years. Like last season, I was incredibly frustrated about every week they kept playing Son. Kept playing him. He was dreadful. Keep playing him. Why keep playing him just because he's the captain and he's been there for years and he's a legend? No, sorry. If you're playing badly, we have got other players that can play in that position. I've kind of got a bit of respect for the fact that Slot has noticed that there's an issue. He's benched Salah. It worked. I'm surprised he's not brought him on at all. That's my issue there, is that he is still a legend to the club. He's gone 3 games now and we've not seen him. That's poor. And what bothers me is
a lot of reports that he's not even going to be on the plane to Italy midweek.
No, and what bothers me about it more is that there's clearly not been a conversation. There's clearly not been a conversation. Yeah. That's the issue. The issue isn't, I don't think, the fact that he's been benched, because I would rather that had happened with Son last time. We had it with Eriksen when Eriksen was leaving Spurs, and it all got a bit messy. Same with Trippier, it all got a bit messy. You manage it, and it's fine. But what's not working here is that there has been a breakdown in the communication. Now, I think there's 2 things that happen. One, what we've just said happens, and Salah leaves in January and goes off to Saudi.
And he's got 18 months in his contract. We'll get a few quid, right? And by the way, his wages are not... Having his wages off of the bill as well will mean that we can go and do stuff in the transfer market that we perhaps can't have done already, right?
Maybe. And so that's one thing that happens. The other thing that happens is Slot goes. Like, there's 2 things that happen here. If Liverpool's performances over AFCON are poor still, if you still lose games, if you're not where you should be, then maybe it's not Salah that goes. Maybe it is Slot that goes. I don't think it's clean cut that Salah goes. I think there's an opportunity for both things to happen, depending upon what happens with Liverpool in December while Salah's not there. All
right. Well, let's transition then into
do you talk about Liverpool first?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the reason I want to do that and talk about Leeds 3, Liverpool 3 here is to carry on that train of thought from you there, because for everything that I've just said about Mo, and I love him, I absolutely love him. What a player! One of my favourite players of all time at Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gone about this in the right way. Is my opinion, right? Does that mean that I'm team Slot? Does that mean that I'm team Salah out? Does that mean that I'm all in on Arne Slot?
No.
Absolutely not at the moment, because I also think that he's getting a lot wrong on the pitch. The Salah benching is just one thing that you can have an opinion on either way, and I'm happy to have the discussion with anybody about it. But there's a lot of other things. Oh my God, it's the tip of the iceberg, Liverpool fans. Joseph Maloney, others in the chat. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Lee and Sam. The Salah interview was interesting, but not surprised by it. It's brewing for a while now. I agree, Lee. No one's bigger than the club. Well, thanks for agreeing, Joseph. There'll be many that don't agree with you and I there, by the way, and I'm absolutely okay with it. But from a slot perspective, tell me what you think, Joseph. I think he's still getting a lot wrong on the pitch. There's a lot there that still needs to massively improve. Listen, I don't know what else I can say about Ibrahima Konate, but in this game, it's 0-0 at half-time. It seems fairly even, and we come out for the second half, and Hugo gets two in 2 minutes or whatever, 2 in 3 minutes, double, bang, brilliant, right? Now, that's one of the first things that you've got to have a look at slot for, is because Ekitike has been absolutely fantastic since he's come into this team and into this league, and Isak hasn't been. So I know you've got to try and get the best out of Isak. I know the way you're going to do that is to play him. But Christ almighty, Hugo is on fire, so play him. So he's got 2 goals, fantastic. We're kind of, and you had a look at the stats just before we come on, and you were saying Leeds hadn't really created much up until that point. It was kind of a little, but was far from one-way traffic.
I was reading the
go on.
The scout notes on Fantasy Football Scout. If you don't read them, please do.
Very good articles.
They're so good.
Really good.
And they basically break down all of the games after the game, so you can see what's happened in depth. And I read them every week because they're so valuable. And it was saying that actually up until the 70th minute mark, Leeds hadn't really done much. Their XG was like, at best, at points during that game, was at 1.49. But most of the time it was in the 0.4. Like, not a lot's happening from a Leeds perspective. So
what was their XG overall in the game? 1.49?
Overall in the game, I haven't got to that bit in the article
sorry.
yet. But,
sorry.
But that was in the 70th minute, nothing was really happening.
Right, okay.
Until Konate decides, and the guy's going nowhere. Just see it out.
It's such a crazy decision from Konate.
It's just
unbelievably bad.
And I think the problem is that we are, sorry for interrupting you, but we are so used to Liverpool being good defensively.
You see that out, don't you, from 2-0? Bloody hell, man.
You go 2-0 up and Liverpool coast the rest of that game. They play it around, they're coasting. Konate has one moment of madness, gives away the penalty, and their heads have gone. And then they concede 2 almost back to back.
And that is the thing where when I say, are you team slot then, Lee? No, because there's things going wrong. Like for that to happen, firstly, why is he still playing Konate? Well, I'll give you an answer for that. Part of the answer is he ain't got anybody else, right? Because the club failed to get him Gahey in the summer. Yeah. I think we'll get him in January, by the way. I mean, we bloody need him, quite frankly. But I've heard some rumour that he might prefer to stay in London, actually, from a reasonably reliable source.
It's quite happy. Where's he want to go? Stay at Palace?
No, I've heard that he might prefer to stay in London because he's a really religious guy and he doesn't want to leave his church, is what I've heard. And going to Liverpool means that he has to... That's rumour. But anyway, I'd like to think that we could get Mark Gahey in January transfer window so that we can get rid of Konate. But for now, anyway, the club didn't get him, right? And... So we didn't get Gahey. Then you get the young lad, Leone, gets his ACL, doesn't he? Which is Leone would be in this team, no doubt.
Oh, he would be, yeah.
And then you say, Gomez can do a job there. Well, he's just as injury prone. You can't play him twice a week. And then you look all the way back to, and I don't want to say, I'm not one of those told you so guys, but when we sold Jarrell Quansah in the summer, everyone was just like, Slot doesn't like him that much, and he had a really crap first game against Ipswich at the beginning of last season. Did you remember he got hauled off at half time?
I do, yeah.
And Slot was just like, don't like you, so we sold him, and all the Liverpool fans went, all right, no, but he's back in the fringes of the England team. He's doing great at Bayer Leverkusen. I'm not saying he's the world's best defender, but a million times better than bloody Konate. Put it that way right now. And Konate's head's already gone to Madrid, right? How he gets in that Madrid team, I don't know. When he can get in Burnley right now, never mind Madrid. Stole that one from you, Georgie, in the chat. I like that. So all of that culminates into we've got to play Konate, and he's just a liability, absolute liability. So bad, so bad.
It's also that you don't defend those 2 chances. Fine, it gets back to 2-2. What is so unlike Liverpool though is that you then take the lead again.
Yeah.
And then right at the death of the game, they have a corner.
Oh, it's so bad, Sam.
And I honestly watched Match of the Day this morning. And I sat watching by myself because Lee didn't want to watch any more Liverpool. So I sat.
You called up to me. You were just like, "Oh, Lee, Match of the Day's on." I was like, "Don't care." I'm just carrying on doing.
So I sat by myself and I watched Match of the Day, the Liverpool game, and I'm watching it, and I'm watching that corner, and I watched that corner 4 times because I could not fathom that was a Liverpool defensive.
So bad. Gravenberch turns his back and it comes off his. Oh,
and all he's got to do is jump and head it away. And then I read the stat that. So, and this surprised me more than anything. So Liverpool conceded the joint most goals from set pieces in the league this season, 10.
It's not a surprise though, is it?
Half of the goals that you have conceded this season have come from set pieces.
Yeah.
That is something that would never have happened under Klopp. We would never have seen that kind of stat because they were so defensively solid. And it's not that different. When you look at the Alissons, the Szoboszlais, the middle of the park, it's not different. Yeah. And even the wing-backs, right? It's the same sort of principle of player, slightly different personnel, yes, in Kirkes or whoever's out there.
So what do we do in FPL then? Because we've got 5 free transfers, and if you look at the fixture ticker here, over the next 5, Liverpool, I mean, on paper, it looks okay. Brighton at home, Spurs away, Wolves then Leeds at home, followed by Fulham away. And any other season, we're looking at that, especially with 5 frees, going, wow, who are we going to bring in? But right now, we'll get to it later as to what we're doing with the 5. I'm thinking about taking my own Liverpool player out. Never mind adding to anything.
Well, the problem is that Liverpool, I just don't. Look
at them fixtures.
We had a whole conversation, didn't we, before this game week about whether you should play Goodmanson or Virgil. Yeah. And that tells you everything that there is to know.
I was 50-50 on that,
I know you were. And in the end, I think it was me that convinced you that you should be playing Virgil because, you just couldn't. I played Virgil over both Senesi and Van Dijk and Van der Ven this week. Yeah. I mean, what a nightmare. And that's problematic, right? Because if you have a Liverpool player in your team, it's really difficult to bench a Liverpool player in the run of fixtures that they have, and particularly against a newly promoted side. And at 2-0, Virgil is getting a clean sheet, 2 DEFCON points. He was also getting 2 bonus points at one
before
point.
Konate's brain fart, he's having a haul, isn't he, Van Dijk?
He's on 10. Yeah. So, because I actually did see that this was happening during the concert, because I went for a wee and checked the score. And I was like, great, Virgil's on 10. That's brilliant. We'll see that game out. Didn't think anything else of it. By the end of the game, he's on a 2-pointer. And to be honest, he's only on 2 points because he picked up the DEFCON. I am done.
You're going to sell Virg?
Because I think that there's something wrong in the dressing room. That Salah comment, I know that Salah's about to go off to AFCON, and so maybe it removes the issue for a while. But fundamentally, Szoboszlai hints at it in the interview. Salah throws it in your face in his interview. When the room starts spinning like that,
it's a problem.
It's time to move away.
It's a problem.
Despite the fixtures.
All right, well, let's move it on. We've done half an hour just on Liverpool, so we've got to move on. I mean, it is a big talking point, no doubt about it, and we'll see a bit more from the Reds against Inter in midweek. But, unless we see something drastically improved, I think one of my 5 is going to be to take Virgil out, despite it being Brighton at home, which on paper looks all right. Doesn't it?
They score goals, though. They score goals.
Well, only just against West Ham today, but we'll come to that. Let's do... where else do you want to go? Do you want to do Villa 2, Arsenal 1? Cracking result for Aston Villa. I think they've now lost just once in their last, 10 or 11 games? Maybe 12? I mean, it's mad. That game was against us, by the way, where, do you remember Martinez gave it to Salah for a tap-in for the opening goal, which is a bit mad. So that's the only game they've lost in recent memory, frankly, from a Villa perspective. Now, if you own Ollie Watkins, you can consider yourself... a little bit unlucky, I would suggest, because he was second for XG underachievers so far this game week. He had a delta of minus 0.83, so he was definitely in and around it, but just not plundering the points. In the end, it came right at the death from Emi Buendia. But yeah, what are we saying? I mean, you've got your 3 Arsenal. Oh no, you've got 2 Arsenal, haven't you? You've got your 2 Arsenal. Now tell me about how you feel about your 2 Arsenal. And you've got Timber and you've got Saka. And their fixtures going forward, let's just remind ourselves on the fixture ticker of the Arsenal fixtures. Of course, it's Wolves at home next week, a plum tie. Then Everton, Brighton, and then Aston Villa at home. So 3 of the next 4 at home, all looking pretty good. You've got to be thinking about a 3rd Arsenal, haven't you, for one of your 5 free transfers? It's got to be one on your to-do list.
100%.
What are you thinking?
I have a struggle with who, because the defence is a couple without a clean sheet now.
Mm.
And when,
Without the main men at the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So when Gabriel got injured, I said on a official pod maybe here, when you look at the data for when Arsenal play without Gabriel or Arsenal play without Saliba, so they've only got one of them,
Yeah.
the numbers drop. They don't drop like off a cliff. It's not like terrible, but they defensively aren't as solid. They concede the odd goal here or there. So it put me off investing in another Arsenal defender when I was moving from Gabriel. So I did think about, well, do I stick with Arsenal? Do I go for Saliba? Or do I go for a Calafiori? Or do I go for Raya or somebody like that?
Yeah.
And in the end, I was like, well, I don't like it really when they don't have one of them. Roll forward a couple of weeks and they've been without both of them. And being without both of them has been really problematic for Arsenal. One, I think it's...
I thought Villa targeted it well, though, didn't you? I thought they looked at it and went, well, that's the weakness. They're
honestly,
having Timber in the middle, so we'll target it.
They were
very good,
phenomenal. So
really
the
good.
Villa tactics in this game, and they did a fantastic analysis of it on Match of the Day, where they were talking about how well they deployed Tielemans and Morgan Rogers, and how Morgan Rogers was that Tielemans was playing in the middle. Morgan Rogers was given this freedom to come in, and what was happening is that they were flooding the middle with Tielemans and Rogers, and so the Arsenal midfielders just kept losing one of them. So one of them was always free, and there were a couple of opportunities where the ball goes through to Watkins, and if Watkins is in form, they're in.
Yeah,
and they're in a couple more times than they were.
Well, 0.83 delta suggests that he was in and did get chance. He just didn't finish him.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So by in I meant that he's like that it's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have been more specific. So yeah, so there's tactically, Villa get spot on during this game. They play so well. So that does make me kind of go, okay, well, let's take a deep breath with this, because Villa played really well. They understood the assignment. Wolves will not understand the assignment. Wolves do not come to the
Wolves
Emirates.
understand any assignment, do they? Yeah.
Well, let's see how they get on tomorrow night.
But with those fixtures, you're right. Going away to Villa, you can forgive Arsenal. But I mean, it was a cracking game. Were it not for Buendia last minute winner, they get a point and they move on, and it's probably not a bad point in an informed Villa at Villa Park.
Totally.
But the fixtures going forward look great for us, so you've got to go for the third.
Right. So I totally agree with you. So for this week, I was like, okay, fine. And what you learn in this game is that, well, hopefully Saliba's not out for too much longer, but we'll see. Hopefully he's back quickly. Gabriel's probably still got a bit more time. If Saliba comes back, that obviously makes things better in terms of the defence. I guess we'll find out a little bit more in midweek when they've got Champions League football again as well. So that's going to be helpful. The question for me then is, do I play it safe? The safe thing for me to do here is to go Pope to Raya.
Yeah.
That's the safe thing for me to do.
Then you got 5 free, so you don't mind spending one on a keeper.
I've got to fix the keeper. It's an issue. I can't keep playing Dubravka every week.
Oh yeah, you've got to sort Pope out anyway, haven't you?
He's
Really?
injured. So he's got to go. I'm like, I've played Dubravka for 2 weeks. He's actually done all right. Got me 3 points this week. Take it. So he's got to be dealt with anyway. So the safe option with Arsenal is to go, well, I've got Saka and I've got Timber and I'm happy with them too. Just get Raya and it's done. But the slightly more fun pick is to pick a different midfielder. Like, to go with a...
Okay, well, who would you go for? This is the challenge, isn't it? Rice seems obvious, right?
Because Rice is probably the obvious pick.
Okay.
Trossard's the fun pick right now because he's in great form. Doesn't even start this game, but comes on. My God, did he make a difference when he came on at half time? Very impressed by him in the second half. Gyökeres is going to be back, probably starting in midweek. I do not like Mateta either right now. Do I, rather than going for Thiago, do I go and invest in him?
All right.
Like, I don't know. It's fun versus sensible, brain.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's have a chat about Villa then, because this, low key, they're going about their season very, very well. We all kind of just dismissed them for the first 5 or 6 weeks. Do you remember? They couldn't even score a goal.
So awful, weren't
Couldn't
they?
even score a goal. Never mind get 3 points.
Second, aren't they? Or third?
But they seem to have shrugged off that malaise, and they are now absolutely flying. It's West Ham next, so you'd back them. I think to go to West Ham and get something. Man U at home. I think you back them again then. Chelsea and Arsenal away. Obviously, it's difficult then. Obviously, it's difficult before Forest at home in 20. So, any thoughts on Villa? Because as the chat is saying, somebody said in the chat, I've missed it, but where did it go? I've missed it in the chat. It's Terry McClarney. Thank you for the comment. He says, yeah, open play XG for Villa right now. Very, very good indeed. They are creating chance after chance. And maybe your bit of analysis there leads me to think something, right? Maybe if Rodgers had a very specific role. You know what? We know what we're going to get with Emery, right? He's a tactical magician, in my opinion. I think he's one of the best tacticians in the Premier League. So he obviously set Villa up specifically for the Arsenal game, and Rodgers maybe had a slightly different role to nullify that threat of Arsenal in the middle. Well, maybe he goes back to the Rodgers we've seen over the last few weeks in these fixtures that are coming up. But he had a double-digit haul, didn't he, Rodgers, a few weeks back? But apart from that, it's been bitty, I think I would suggest. Is he one you'd like to look at, or are you thinking elsewhere in Villa, if at all in Villa?
No, I am absolutely looking at Villa, and I'm absolutely looking at Morgan Rodgers as one of the options.
Right, okay.
I mean, so yes, he doesn't get anything in this one, but he is unlucky because him coming in, he had freedom in this game. It was like, come in when you want to, cause confusion, play out on the left when you want to. There were a couple of moments where he should get an assist. If Watkins could finish his dinner, Rodgers gets some assists in this game, and we're not talking about a blank.
But that's a consistent thing for Watkins, though. There's no point saying if Watkins could. We know that Watkins is a high XG underachiever, so Rodgers will not get assists because his forwards can't finish.
Yeah, you are
on an ongoing basis.
I mean, over the last 4 weeks, he's got 2 points against Arsenal. It was 3 points against Wolves, but he's got 6 points against Brighton and 15 against Leeds. So there was a big haul in there. I like him. I like the way he's playing. I like the fact that he's on a few more set pieces at the moment. He's dangerous from them. I like the fact that he's so important in their play. What puts me off is Watkins' form and the fact that Watkins isn't playing well. I think the most likely course of action for me with Villa is to go from Virgil to Matty Cash.
There's a lot of people in the chat giving a lot of love to Matty Cash. Yeah. Your thoughts on that then? I mean, obviously attacking threat as well as potential set piece, and he gets the goal here. So maybe it's an obvious move to say this week is the right move to make for him. But yeah, he looks all right, doesn't he? It looks like a reasonable pick.
I mean, if you look at him, I've just got his stats up. So if you look at him from game week 9 when they played Manchester City, 15 points against City. Then he blanks against you lot in the weird game where Liverpool were good and Villa just were off it. That's their anomaly over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we weren't good. Villa were off. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 6 points against Bournemouth for the clean sheet. Nothing against Leeds. 6 points against Wolves. 4 points against Brighton. And then 9 points here against Arsenal. Like, there is a consistency there in terms of both attacking threat and clean sheet potential. And when you look at the fixtures that they have coming up, you'd expect there to be a potential for a clean sheet against West Ham, despite what we were just saying about West Ham and the potential
improved
for
a bit though, West Ham.
But even if he does, but the thing with Matty Cash is that I look at the fixtures that they have coming up. It's West Ham. After that, it's Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah. How many clean sheets in that for?
Those three are difficult, but he does have the upside potential there, and I think that's the interesting thing.
We need more than that now, don't we, in FPL?
Do you? Because I think in reality, what we are seeing with the defenders right now is that there's a lot of potential for rotation that you can create within your teams. Virgil, it's like I was saying to you before, if you have a player like Virgil, you feel compelled to play them every single week.
Yeah.
Because they are a 6 million-ish defender. You've spent a hell of a lot of money on them. They play for Liverpool, so they have to start. That's the way, whether it's right or wrong, that is the way that most FPL managers will look at that decision.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got players like Matt Cash, when you've got players like Senesi, when you've got players like the cheaper Palace ones, the Gaheys and the Rodgerses, you can flick around. You can rotate them around the fixtures. So around the difficult games, I think there's an opportunity. Manchester United, let's see how they play on Monday night, because on paper it's difficult. In reality, is it?
Yeah, never quite sure what you're going to get from Manchester United. That's the reality. Okay, well, that's 2-1. Villa, very impressive. Arsenal, no panic. I mean, if you've got Arsenal, you're not selling ahead of Wolves at home.
Saka still gets the assist, still something there.
Yeah, is he a bit expensive to be ticking over? Do we want a bit more than that for
Where
Saka?
are you going to spend that money?
No, I know.
If Palmer's going off,
yeah.
If Salah was going off, then fair enough. But right now, I think you can afford for Saka to tick over.
Gotcha. All right, gotcha. All right, Everton 3, Forest 0 then. Mr. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall continues to do very, very well since I sold him on Wildcard. I feel like I say it every week.
Do you have some stats on him?
I would love some stats on him. There was more to this Everton performance than just Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, mind you. And fair play if you still got Ndiaye. He picks up the assist. But he's getting harder and harder to overlook Dewsbury-Hall. And one of the things before you go into the stats, because you're the stats person, I'm the sort of eye test stroke what the managers say kind of guy. And I'm pretty sure I heard David Moyes talk about the fact that he's playing Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall in a slightly more reserved role at the moment, given some of the other absentees in the Everton first 11. And I'm like, okay. So he's playing you in a slightly more reserved role, yet you're still banging him in, Kiernan. It's like, what happens when
you can actually play?
What happens when Moyes plays you in a more forward-thinking role? Then when you get some players back, I'm like, this guy's already doing well, and the manager's saying I've got the reins on him a little bit. So what happens when the shackles are off? I think. As I think I identified early on in the season, this is a good pick. And I was wrong to sell him a few weeks ago on Wildcard when he was having a bit of a lean spell. Because now, the underlying stats and the eye test that I saw early on in the season when I had him is now starting to come to the fore. And listen, he's so cheap in FPL. At the minute, I've got Josh King sitting there. I've got a bit of money in the bank. I mean, one of my 5 looks nailed on to be Josh King, back to Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. I feel like I made a mistake selling him. Have I missed the boat, though? What are the stats?
No, I don't think so. That's his... Again, shout out to Tom Freeman for the scout notes on this one. It's actually a really good article, this one. So that's his 3rd goal in 4 matches now. He also had one where he clips the outside of the post in this game. So actually could have had a brace in this one quite comfortably. He also gets the assist because he provides the cross, which ends up being the Milenkovic OG.
Oh, yes.
The part of the issue in this game was obviously the Idris Ogunage was suspended from the scuffle. So the role thing was playing a factor here, but the fact that he's deeper and he's still so attacking is so important.
So that's the reason Moyes is saying he's a bit deeper, because he was covering for Gay a little bit.
Bunham as well was out, and he's been playing him, and I think that has had an impact. Okay. And then the fact that we're also good, but we are going to lose and die to AFCON after this week. So again, that will change the role that Dewsbury-Hall makes, but that should change his role
positively, you'd
for
think,
the better.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yes, because it should make him more attacking. He's only 5 million still as well.
Just a quick shout out to Nikolai in the chat. Thank you, Nikolai, for this. He said the goal at the weekend came from a 0.02 XG shot, and the goal against United, which, if you remember, was a fantastically taken goal, 0.08 XG. Yeah. So Nikolai's not saying he's a bad pick. He's saying he's a good pick, but just be conscious of the fact he's overachieving his XG right now.
Yes, but he also got defensive contribution points for the 3rd time in 4 matches.
No, did he?
Yes. So
cool, that's gone under my radar.
So yes, he's getting attacking returns from a deeper... And again, I think what you're saying is correct, but if he's more attack-minded...
Yeah, 15 on
he's going to improve his XG significantly because of the positions he'll find himself in. He won't be being asked to do this defensive work so much. So maybe that has a negative impact on the DEFCON picking up, but it does feel like wherever he is, and I'm not keen in Dewsbury-Hall's,
isn't it? So this is like mini Bruno, right? Yeah.
I'm not keen in Dewsbury-Hall's biggest fan, but he's playing exactly like Bruno, because he asked me to play the deeper role. Well, I'll pick up DEFCON for you. You asked me to play the more attacking role. Well, I'm likely to get an attacking return for you. So I really like it now.
44 on the underlying BPS this week, which was joint 4th amongst all midfielders, and the leader amongst all midfielders so far this game week is Cherky with 48. So Dewsbury-Hall not that far behind.
The one thing to put in on the radar is his home and away form is very different.
Right.
So he had 3 shots in game week 15. That's now an attempt every 52 minutes when he's playing at the Hilly Dick.
Let's have a look at their fixtures.
But when you move him away from home, he's been only having an attempt on goal every 122 minutes. So we do have more ability or more desire maybe to go at goal when he's playing at home than when he's away from home. So that's just something to be mindful of.
Chelsea away next, which is kind of written in the stars that he gets something against Chelsea, doesn't it?
Feels
let
like
him go. Arsenal at home, Burnley, Forest, Brentford. I don't know. Them next two put me off a little bit, but from 18 he looks like a good pick, doesn't he? And if you just want to get him in as one of your 5, not that we've got to spend the 5 immediately, right? You can leave him in your bank, can't you? So at some stage, I can see him coming in as my fifth midfielder. He looks like the pick to have, doesn't he? He looks like the pick to have. Anything else to talk about in this game? Old Tarkovsky, low-key, being a bit of a hero for me again this game week after a 10 or 11 pointer last week, and now he's got 8, I think, or 9.
4 clean sheets in the last 5.
Nice. Yeah, very
really
good.
well,
yeah, we take it.
And again, he's DEFCON monster again, isn't he? He's back to picking them up all the time.
Yes, he is. Very, very good. I'm very
points.
pleased with him over the last couple of weeks. And if you've got Michael Keane, I think you'd be similarly happy. So Everton, I don't think it's an immediate jump on with those next two, but from game week, what did I say? Let me have a look at this
18.
Again. From 18 against Burnley away, then Forest, then Brentford. Yeah, from 18, they look thoroughly investable. Forest, very, very quickly, they don't seem to be able to get their act together, do they? Still a bit of a team to target at the moment. Feels like it.
Do you know what? I thought a couple of weeks ago that they were starting to pick up. There were a couple of good performances in there, but they were defensively good performances, and they do seem to still be struggling. I bought in Elliot Anderson, who did get DEFCON in this game, so fine.
Did he get DEFCON? He got what was his He got absolutely hundreds of DEFCON, didn't he?
Yeah, 15 or something, wasn't it?
19 DEFCON for Anderson. It just shows you, doesn't it? Because last week, I think when you brought him in last week,
he only got 5.
Well, this is it, because he's smart enough. That's why I like him as a player. He's smart enough to know that if he gets booked early doors, which he did last game week, he just dials it down a little bit, right? But what you want is an Elliot Anderson that doesn't get booked, because when he's not on a yellow, he's an absolute monster. Yeah. 19 DEFCON, absolutely brilliant.
So despite losing, quite significantly losing in this game as well, he still picks up the 4 points. So I was pleased.
I was
pleased with that. That was decent for a cheap budget player. That's why you have Elliot Anderson, because of that, because it's basically 4 every week.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, but otherwise with Forest, they feel difficult still. They need Murillo back. They do need Murillo back.
Yes. All right. So that's Everton 3, Forest 0. Let's go to another 3-0. City 3, Sunderland 0. Phil Foden heavily bought in. I mean, if you thought the price rises for Foden were mad over the last week or so, I think he went up 0.4 in the course of about a week, didn't he? Such was the clamour for Phil Foden this week. I think with 5 free transfers in everyone's bank, who's to say it's not going to happen again? Right, who's to say it's not going to happen again? I know that we've got Europe this game week, haven't we, rather than a midweek game week, so we can only go up 0.3 maximum between now and next game week.
Yes,
but who's to say that might not happen again? I mean, we'll talk about my teams in a bit, our teams in a bit, but that's something that I've fixed immediately. I did not bring him in this week, and I wish I had, and I have now brought him in on one of my frees.
What was your reason for not doing it last week? Just out of interest, were you worried about benching?
Not so much that. I know he's a good pick, but it would have been for a hit, and I didn't want to take out Semenyo. I thought Semenyo could have a decent game against Chelsea, and 2 or 3 minutes in, I thought I'd got that right.
Right, yeah.
But then he had one ruled out for VAR, which in the end, Evanilson is offside, so you got to accept it. But 2 or 3 minutes in, I'm thinking, I've done the right thing there. And then Semenyo just doesn't do anything for the rest of the game, and it's completely dries up for him, as it has done in recent weeks. So I've now fixed that. I have now done Semenyo to Foden as one of my free transfers, because he's starting to creep up, Foden, in terms of ownership. And when he's on, do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I hope that what I haven't done is broken him, because if I you know how FPL goes, right? He's a people keep saying to me over the last fortnight or so, he's a streaky player. Yes, and when he's hot, you need to get him, but he can equally go off. He can go off the boil quite quickly as well, Phil Foden. You need to get off of him quick as well when the time is right, which is hard because it's a City midfielder and you want City midfielders, all the rest of it. But he's the one getting in and around the big man, isn't he? And to the point you made before at the beginning of the pod, I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe it's Haaland triple captain in game week 17. That's the one that makes sense, home to West Ham. Well, at the moment, you definitely could make a case for Phil over Haaland, couldn't you? Definitely.
Phil Foden has been the most transferred in player in FPL 4 times now.
Right.
And this is the first time that as the most transferred in player he's returned. The other 3 is blanked. So, which is interesting, because that justifies everything that you've just said about Foden, and the fact that he's streaky, because then what happens is...
We've been burnt before, haven't we?
Yeah. So I was really worried about this, because I knew that stat before. I knew that the 3 times that he had been the most transferred in, he had blanked. And I knew I was going there, because I had just lost my mind with Semenyo. I had just had enough. It had got to that point, a bit like I was, if you remember back to me in Dewsbury Hall early on. I just had got to a point where I was like, this is actually, it's making me...
He's got Burnley at home in a couple of weeks, though, isn't he?
Who?
Semenyo.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'd got to the point where I was like, I'm so frustrated seeing your face every time I open the app that I just have to deal with this. And I was like that with Jude.
Do you think his head's gone a bit? Do you think he's thinking about where he might go next?
Semenyo.
I feel like the release clause is going to be
somebody
activated it. Could be my club, could be another club.
Could be my club, apparently. We've been linked.
Yeah,
which
for
will
sure.
be interesting. But yeah, I wonder whether he's just... I don't know. Look, because he couldn't... And we'll talk about Bournemouth later. But Phil Foden, I had this like fear of like, I am going there. I'm worried he's going to be benched. Then there was a hell of a lot of trolling going on social media about him not being in the starting 11.
Yeah, just got to ignore that crap.
So you ignore it, and then he's playing, and it's fine, and then he picks up an assist, and I think, okay, well, we've got that hoodoo of him blanking off our backs. But now I have the fear, because now I've got Foden in, and now I'm looking at my team, and I'm thinking, great, can I trust myself to captain him? Because will Pep rotate him?
Yeah.
We've got a midweek round. The thing I like about the triple captain in game week 17 on either of them is the lack of Champions League worry.
Yeah.
Obviously, going into 16, one of the things I'm thinking about is triple captain in Saka, but I do have the Champions League
stuff
issue.
Yeah.
Going into it, whereas you don't have that if you go for a Man City player in 17. But maybe you have the risk of rotation. You have to... Phil Foden is exactly what you just described him as. He is a streaky player. He gets in the purple patch and you have to ride it until the point where he's not in the purple patch, and then you have to get off fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as the chat quite rightly saying, Semenyo not off to AFCON because Ghana didn't qualify, so he is going to be sticking around in the UK, you'd expect. Just your thoughts, and again, we've spoken about different City midfielders. One minute it's Foden, the next minute it's Doku, the next minute it's Cherky, the next minute it could be Reinders. There's a different flavour of the month every week, which, this is a well-trodden path for us here in FPL, isn't it? Picking a City midfielder, it is difficult. And Foden, for sure, at the minute is the standout. But I do want to give a shout-out to Cherky. I thought Cherky was fantastic this weekend. Fantastic. You see his Rabona assist for Foden's goal?
Yeah.
What's he playing at? And for me, I love to see that, because that for me says there's a player that's full of confidence right now. He's not afraid to try something like that, Cherky. And I just thought his movement off the ball as well, in between transitions, when City win the ball back, he's constantly looking for how he can get into attacking areas. I like him a lot, Cherky. Let me know if you're a City fan, or even if you're not. Let me know in the chat, in the comments, what you think of Ryan Cherky. He looks like a proper baller from what I'm watching.
But how could you invest? Because the rotation has been mad.
No,
Last
I'll
week,
give him all the big build-up then.
But midweek he's benched and Reinders plays, and Reinders does well in midweek, gets you some points.
Okay.
The weekend comes, Cherky's back in. What happens in midweek when they go and play in the Champions League? That position has got rotation written all over.
Which is why you don't want Reinders.
Which is why, Lee, you don't want Reinders. Did you sell Reinders to get Foden?
No.
So hang on, you've kept Reinders.
He's going to go, isn't he, Reinders? I've got to at some stage sell him. But if you remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, what was the move I was going to make? Reinders to Minter.
Well, that would have gone splat.
And he ain't done great over the last couple of weeks, right?
So,
listen, I'm still... Reinders, he's still in... I'm pretty sure I might just have him for 38 weeks and just be done with it, Reinders. I don't know why I've still got him. But right now, I do have Foden and Reinders. Yeah, we'll talk about bus teams in just a sec. So that was the City game. Newcastle 2, Burnley 1. Did you expect a bit more from Newcastle? A few more goals, potentially? I mean, Bruno Guimaraes, that's now 2-2 for him. So... There were a few FPL managers.
He's unreal at the minute.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, he scored against you lot, didn't he? And then he scored this in this game. I don't know if did he score before that?
He's got something like...
Has he?
It's a lot.
All right.
He's done really well recently.
All right. Well, yeah, he looks absolutely sensational. So if you did bring him in, 2 or 3 weeks ago, fantastic. Gordon also very, very good. Very impressed. So no surprise to see them rock up with the 3 and the 2 bonus points respectively. Any thoughts on Newcastle? I'm just going to have a quick look at their fixtures.
Since game week 7, let's just talk about Bruno Guimaraes since game week 7. 14-2, 10, 4-4, 10, 4, 7, 10.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Honestly,
it's good, isn't it?
So he was my FPL pod differential of the week this week, 6.9 million. Now I appreciate that it's Burnley, but over the next couple of weeks they've got Sunderland, Chelsea, and Manchester United. These are all defences that could be penetrated for sure. Bruno's so important.
I think that's difficult, that. Sunderland, Chelsea?
I don't think so.
No?
I think on paper it's Chelsea. It's difficult. But the reality is that Sunderland away, the derby though, Lee. Sunderland away in the first Premier League derby between these two in years and years and years and years and years.
Not got loads of goals written all over it for me. It might have some reds on it.
I don't know. I think this game has got potential fireworks in it. So I think this could be an absolute humdinger next weekend. Chelsea is at home. They are so much better at home than they are away from home. And Chelsea are hit and miss right now. Like, I don't really know what happened to Chelsea this weekend. Their XG was non-existent. We'll talk about them maybe in a little bit. And Manchester United just don't keep a clean sheet for love nor money. And then after that is Burnley. So I think there's a lot of potential here for Newcastle and for Bruno Guimaraes as one of your cheap
I don't think they go through it. So Sunderland, Chelsea, Man U, okay, Burnley, then Palace. In the next, I think in 4 out of those 5 games, they don't go mad. There's no 3, 4, 5 nils.
What I'm saying is...
There's not tons of goals there.
But Bruno will be involved.
There's lots of different play. You've got Gordon in there taking the pens. You've got Voltemada's on good form. Ilanga's sort of getting it. You can't just say Bruno will be involved. He has been the last couple of weeks. But
since game week 7.
Yeah,
that's significant. That's
sure.
Not 1 or 2 weeks. That's not 1 or 2 weeks of form. Game week 7, we're seeing consistency. And do you know what? Newcastle, in game week 14... they were poor until he brought on Bruno at half-time and they looked different.
Well, as Charlie King is saying in the chat, Bruno G is just as likely to get a red card as is a goal. And you've already said that game against Sunderland is going to be full of fireworks. I don't disagree with you. So sort of player that it wouldn't surprise me if he got a brace, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he got sent off. And if he got sent off, then he misses a couple of games, doesn't he?
I don't know. I really like him. I'm really tempted to go there. I've got Voltemada.
What are you thinking about him?
I don't know, Lee. I don't know how I feel about him. Like, part of me thinks, yeah, all right, he's fine, isn't it? But he's not... Like, again, if we roll back to game week 7 then, the same as we've just done with Bruno, 6, 8, 2, 1, 5, 2, 7, 5, 2. It's not terrible.
No, well,
listen, terrible.
Size in the chat, Nigel the Crab, absolutely right. Voltemada isn't worth the cost, he says, but he rarely exceeds 7 points. But Si, look, as Sam says, he's ticking over, isn't it? It's not terrible, is it? It's not terrible.
But 7.5, I want more.
Do you want more? Yeah, I think that's more. What Si's saying, yeah.
Like, I feel the same about Mateta, and he's not as expensive. I expect more from this player. If I'm investing 7.5 million, I'm watching this game, I'm watching the highlights. Am I seeing Voltemada am I impressed by him? Not really. All right. And he's not on pens either, and that's a frustration.
All right, let's move it on. A couple of games we've got to discuss because we've got to get to the big one in a minute. George has been waiting for it, the big one. If you're still here, George, I'm sure as soon as we start talking about that game, he might switch off. Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0 then. What did you make of this game? I haven't seen any highlights or anything of this game, actually.
Defensive masterclass from Bournemouth.
Was it?
In a time where they haven't done that.
Even without Senesi? Okay, interesting.
No. So Senesi played most of this game,
sorry, he did.
So they restricted Chelsea to no big chances. Not a single big chance by Chelsea in this game. They had an XG of 0.92, Chelsea, across the game.
Across the whole game.
Senesi was great.
Yeah.
Bournemouth defensively were good. They were really, really good. But they have not been over recent weeks, which is why I benched Senesi, because Chelsea have scoring goals and they have their big players back.
There'll be plenty of people that bench Senesi. Don't you worry about that.
He got a clean sheet. He got defensive contributions.
Back to the old Senesi that we liked at the early on in the season.
Yeah. Do you know what? He was really good.
Evan Nielsen, top for XG underachievers as well this week with a delta of 0.85. So for any of you that have got Evan Nielsen, I don't suspect he's out there in too many FPL teams. But yeah, bang unlucky if you had him.
Yeah, Senesi a little bit lucky because he goes down on the 57th minute. And it takes him 3 minutes to get him off the pitch. So he gets...
right? I missed that.
He gets his clean sheet points.
Huge happy Senesi.
He played on for 5 minutes.
Mad.
Goes down, gets some treatment, plays on, and then goes off 5 minutes later. So
when did he go off in? 63 or something? 62.
So he literally just scraped
buggers.
it. He tried to play on, but doesn't make it. Now, Iraola has said he thinks it's cramp.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But they've got to assess him. He's hopeful. He went on to say, he's so important and all of this jazz. So yeah, Bournemouth. I was frustrated by Senesi. Yeah, DEFCON clean sheet, frustrating.
All right. Bournemouth fixtures read like this. They are second bottom, according to the Fantasy Football Scout FDR fixture difficulty rating over the next 5. United away next. Burnley at home. There's that nice Burnley home game that I mentioned for Semenyo, I should say, in 17, but also nice for Senesi. Brentford away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. So that's not screaming investment to me, is it? Other than game week 17. So if you've got Bournemouth, you hold for that 17, and then in 18 you maybe think about it. Or do you just get rid of Semenyo now because he's just not doing the business?
I think there's two different things at play there in that answer. I think Senesi, if fit and available and it is just cramp, you hold.
Yeah.
I think if you have Semenyo, you sell. Because the midfield, he's expensive. And the midfielder slots are important. And there's plenty of players that you can go to. Okay. So the Semenyo to Foden move just makes so much sense.
All right. And then Chelsea? Thoughts? Got any Chelsea in your team?
No.
I've got Guiu, that's about it.
Well, you might be all right there because Delap goes off again. Looks like it's a
really
shoulder.
Not doing the business, is he, Delap? That's funny, that, isn't it?
He's a little bit unlucky in this game because he's doing okay and then goes off with a shoulder injury.
Right.
Possible dislocation of the shoulder. Okay. So might be out for a little bit.
How did Palmer look, though, on his return? Did he? I didn't see much of him.
Well, let me just finish on Delap.
Sorry, go on, yeah.
Yeah, you are. So it's interesting that he brings on Guiu. He doesn't bring on João Pedro in this game. Guiu comes on. He plays almost an hour. He doesn't do much. But, you know, it's okay.
Okay.
You might see a boost in his minutes, I think is what we're saying.
Yeah.
From a Palmer perspective...
Malachi's in saying Delap is a 6 to 8 weeker.
Is it? Yeah. Well, they were talking.
Is that right, Malachi?
It looked like a dislocation. It comes off and it's all like you know when they pull it into the shirt and it does look great.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. We might see a bit more Guiu, I think, over the next few weeks.
Right. Enzo Fernandez sitting a little bit deeper with no Caicedo.
What do you want me to talk about, Enzo or Palmer?
Oh, go on then.
The speed.
Well, I've got to get through these games. Sam.
Oh, I know, but I keep going to talk about one thing and then you move on somewhere else. He was rusty, Palmer. He looked rusty. He looked leggy. He didn't make the 60. Goes off on 57, I think.
Okay. So some minutes.
Some minutes, decent enough. Doesn't get the clean sheet point though. Just the 1 pointer for him. I think it's going to be a fitness thing. He's got to work on his fitness.
Absolutely, yeah.
Enzo, I don't like so much when Palmer's around because obviously I think if there's a penalty, Palmer's taking it off Enzo.
Especially with no Caicedo.
He plays in a different role also without with Palmer on the pitch. The only thing I will say about this game is that it was of all of the Chelsea players, it's Neto that's the most impressive in this one. He's the one that has the biggest impact on the game, and even then he doesn't look great. Okay. So, but he's the best of the Chelsea bunch. I find Chelsea really difficult, really, really difficult to invest in. If you've got a defender, you're a bit lucky because Semenyo should have scored, but you take the points and run.
Okay.
I don't love the fixtures for him either. So
all right, we'll move it on then. Let's quickly do Fulham versus Palace, and then we'll finish up with your game. Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 2. No Daniel Munoz in the squad.
A knee problem apparently.
Glasner says there's a knee injury. Now,
don't you start speculating.
If we were on Sky or you're on the official, you will not hear commentary like this on the official fantasy podcast. But there is some rumour that a 29... Sam, it's out there. You can't deny the rumour.
Listen.
It's rumour.
Just because he's 29...
So the rumour is, I've seen it online, it's on Twitter, so therefore it's fact. There's a 29-year-old professional footballer based in London that's got arrested for a fray outside a nightclub or something, I don't know.
Should we Google how many 29-year-old professional footballers there are in London?
There's lots, Sam. I'm not saying it's him. Am I saying that?
No.
No.
Twitter is.
But I'm saying...
Twitter have him arrested and thrown in jail for 20 years.
Everything on Twitter is true, as we know. So there is some rumour that a 29-year-old footballer based in London has been charged with assault and affray. And that was last night, apparently. Now, all of a sudden, Munoz not in the squad for this week. He's got a minor knee injury, according to Glasner. So we need to watch this space. Watch this space. All I'm saying is that that's potentially a coincidence. And we can only get away with saying that here on FPL Family. Anywhere else, we would be thrown out of the studio for saying something like that.
But I'm not even going to say it at all because I don't believe that Glasner lies to me. I like to believe that Glasner tells me the truth, and that Munoz has a slight knee injury.
Okay, now, let's just say he's got a slight injury.
Let's go with that. Now let's move it on.
Did he injure his knee while doing the assault? Or
will you please?
Oh, no, he didn't know. It's a rumour. Allegedly. Okay, fine.
Oh, my good God. When I do Off the Bench on Tuesday, there'll be no mention of this. I'm just clearing that up.
Can you imagine on an official
I would like it noted that I have not suggested any of this stuff is true. You can damage a person's reputation. Lee from FPL Family.
You can. Yeah, you can.
And he's just got a knee injury.
Okay. Okay.
As a Mark Gahey owner...
Oh, Mark.
As a Mark Gahey owner, I must admit. Well, first of all, I wanted Mark Gahey and Mateta to be sick today. I was like, maybe they could just have the flu for a day.
You have so many points
because
on your
I got
bench,
so many points on my bench, as you'll see shortly, that I really wanted them out. So then when the clean sheet went, I was raging because I was thinking, right, Munoz, this is giving me an advantage here. I've got Gahey, clean sheet, no Munoz clean sheet to hurt me. This is great. Then they concede. I was not happy. Thank goodness I had my little niece around. She was entertaining me. I could just ignore the fact that this was happening. However, then at the death, we were sat there watching it, weren't we? The death of this game. And Palace score. And we're both like, oh, Palace have... It's Mark.
Loved it.
I cannot tell you the amount of times that I feel like that man saves my bacon since I've owned him. He just pops up with these goals.
Double-digit haul the other week with the assist, didn't he? With the DEFCON as well.
Lee, all I can say is that...
Gotta love him.
Do you know what I really think?
What?
Your team could really have done with him.
Well, that's a fact.
You could really have done with him.
That is a fact. Talk about the Palace fixtures, though, going forward. So here's Palace's fixtures. City at home next. Leeds away, Spurs home, Fulham home, Newcastle away. I sold Mateta. That was my Thiago transfer going into this week. Got rid of him. And the fact that he keeps coming off on somewhere between 55 and 65 minutes is a big problem. He looked as well.
He's knackered.
He looked knackered. I'm not being funny. This guy needs a proper rest. He's a big lad as well, isn't he? It's like one of them players where I don't know how kind of naturally athletic he is. Listen, he's a proper player, unbelievable player, but
he's brilliant.
Flogging him twice a week is just not going to work, I don't think. Now, Nketiah comes in, doesn't he, and he gets the goal, so fair play to him.
Yeah, but they're playing together.
But I'm not sure that... I just think Palace are just running out of steam a little bit. Despite that, they get the win. And the defenders continue to be great, right? They continue to be great. So with your 5-3s, I assume you're not thinking about getting Mateta. Have you got Mateta?
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Get rid.
And you're going to sell. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
We only have 3 forwards. And I can't hold a player. I mean, when you look at him, so let's forget game week 13, because game week 13 was my bench boost week. I did not have him when he scored that goal against Manchester United. So when you look at the last 4 game weeks that I've had him, 2, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't.
Who are you selling him for, though?
Thiago, probably. Or probably Thiago.
Can I give you a potential option other than Thiago? Not that you should take it, because I think Thiago's a great option.
Yeah.
But I would just like to put Mr. Raul Jimenez out there.
No.
Because Fulham have got Burnley next, then Forest at home and West Ham. The next 3 for Fulham are pretty damn sensational. And then in 19, it's Palace away, which is obviously a difficult game, but Palace look a bit cooked. And then in game week 20, it's a really easy game at home to Liverpool. So those 5...
Do you not feel like I'm going out of the fire pan and into the fire by going for Jimenez?
Mateta to Jimenez.
Yeah, because...
I'm not saying don't get Thiago. Get Thiago.
All right, he picks up 5 points today, but before that, 2 and 1. Then there's a 6-pointer against Sunderland because he gets the goal.
Yeah.
But then he's got like 1. It's just, I don't know. I don't really trust Fulham.
I just think for them next 3, if you want a differential for the next 3, and let's face it, we've all got 5 transfers. Why not have a bit of fun? I am considering Guiu to Jimenez for the next 3.
I've just told you Guiu might get more minutes.
No, forget him. He's rubbish. Guiu to Jimenez for the next 3. And if I had only 1 or 2 transfers, of course I wouldn't be thinking about doing that. But with the 5-3s, maybe there's an opportunity to go and do something a bit rogue. I don't want to waste these transfers.
I mean, you seem like you're going to waste it by going for Raul Jimenez.
Guiu, and I've got other things to do, right? It could be that, I need to take Reinders up to somebody and I'll need the money to do it, right? But if I think about my team, I want to get rid of Virgil down to somebody, frees up some money, got a bit in the bank, maybe Guiu to Jimenez the next... I'm just putting it out there as I'm just putting it out there.
All right, you put it out there. Can we talk about the players now?
The next three for Fulham look very, very good indeed. And some of you are also mentioning Harry Wilson. Reinders to Wilson.
Now, he is a player that I like.
Reinders to Wilson. It has crossed my mind, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Harry Wilson has low-key been brilliant for the last few weeks.
Yeah, the next three for Fulham. I know they've lost this weekend, but that next three look absolutely sensational. Right, Sam. Spurs 2, Brentford 0. Let's end on this one. Did not see it coming, I'll be honest, but...
Why?
You got to be happy with that. What do you mean, why? Because you're crap at home and Brentford are good.
No, I told everyone last week. I don't know, people don't listen to me.
I think this is a perfect example of how batshit crazy this season is. Because if you looked at all the stats, you looked at the fact that Thiago got rested in midweek, you look at the fact that Spurs struggle on the counter, but... You've got your main two back in the middle, right? You have Van der Ven and Romero. If one of those two are missing, you struggle. But the two of them together, it's just so much better, isn't it? It's so much better with them two when they play together.
Well, yes. They are wonderful human beings. I love them both. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was expecting a clean sheet. I was not. I benched Mickey Van der Ven. We kept a clean sheet. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was... When you said you bought Thiago in this week, I was not surprised. I was like, actually, even I think that's fairly sensible against that Spurs defence.
Yeah.
What I will say, though, is Brentford are... What is the opposite of being a bogey team? We are Brentford's bogey team.
You like playing against Brentford.
We love playing against Brentford. If in doubt, get Brentford over. They'll make us feel better. Genuinely.
If in doubt, roll Brentford out. Is that what you're basically saying?
Genuinely, I don't know why.
Oh, George, what are you making of that
George,
one?
I'm sorry.
That's a stinker,
I don't mean it badly to you, but we just play well. Even when we were under Postecoglou, I remember watching so many games we were terrible, and then you roll out Brentford. I remember you took Max to the Brentford Spurs game last season and came home. We were expecting to get a whitewash. You came in when Spurs were great. We always are against Brentford.
They weren't. From the little bits that I've seen, Brentford didn't play well this game.
Brentford did not play well, but there was a lot of really great stuff from Spurs in this game. And
let's focus on that.
I think that is more to do with why Brentford didn't play well. Because I think Kudus, the first half was unreal. How I've not got a hatful of points out of that man, I don't know. But he was unreal in this game, particularly in the first half. He had the beating of... I can't even remember who the Brentford player was that he was up against, but he had the beating of him all day long. This was the game that I have been asking Xavi to have for about 3 months now. And I've been saying, he's too lightweight, he gets pushed off the ball too easily, he's been this, he's been that, he's been the other. And George is saying
it was Aya that they basically put a centre half up against Kudus, which was suicidal.
And it was suicidal. And over the last few weeks, Xavi has not started, and there's been a lot of talk about Frank, what are you doing? We've spent money on this man. Why are you not playing him? He was supposed to be the next best thing. All this Xavi call business. Spurs called, Xavi answered, all of that. I think he's just been in the gym. He's just gone, get in the gym, get on the weights, build up some strength. He was physical in this game. He was doing all the things that the Spurs crowd have been asking for from him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and all the things that Thomas Frank has said he needs. He had them in this game. I am sincerely hoping that this is the beginning of that Xavi, that he now takes that performance and goes with it.
It certainly looked to me, and in the highlights that I've seen, like a bit of a coming of age performance from him. I thought he was absolutely excellent. But as you rightly say, now is
he's got to kick
the
on
test. Now. Every week you've got to go to, is it Slavia Prague in the week?
They're coming to us, yeah.
Okay, so you've got another difficult game that, the games keep coming, Xavi. Do you know what I mean? They'll keep coming. He's got to put in the consistency. But yeah, for sure. Very, very good. The chat want to know about your thoughts on Richarlison, though. Low-key, potentially a bit of a differential, maybe. Overall, across the whole game week so far for underlying BPS that feeds the bonus point system, as you guys know, he's in the top 10, Richarlison, 37, joint with a certain Mr. Foden, who we're all jumping on. So, Richarlison, low-key differential, or nah? What are you saying?
Slightly different formation from Spurs this week, with Richarlison and Kolo Muani both starting, and then Xavi and Kudus. I liked it. I liked it. It was good. It was a good setup. Whether we play that more remains to be seen. I think if we can get the best of Xavi in the 10, that's only going to be positive in terms of what happens ahead. And the link up between Xavi and Richarlison in this one was really nice.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say with Richarlison is that we do have other players that can play in that position. Frank was very positive about Tell after the game as well, talking about him in a very positive way.
Okay.
And I do worry that around the Champions League games that we will see some rotation with Richarlison. If Richarlison is locked and is our number 9, I think he is a great buy.
I don't know if we can ever say that.
But I don't think we ever will say that, because we've got Tell who can play there, we've got Kola Moani who's started to be really good as well. We're starting to see the best of him. And at some point, the lesser spotted Dominic Solanke will be back. And I think that's January. I think we're looking at December for Kulu. Yes. And it'll be a very much easing back in of Kulu, protect him at all costs. And the same with Dominic Solanke. I think we'll see an easing back in with him in January. But Richarlison could be a nice differential.
Is he on pens, by the way? Nick says in the chat.
Richarlison, I would expect Richarlison to take the pens. He has taken it this season. We had one in the Champions League. He took it. He missed it. But I would still expect him to take it.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's a better penalty taker out there right now. I would be surprised if he keeps his space when Solanke is fully fit, though.
Well, look, the Spurs fixture's coming up. Forest, who, as we mentioned before, okay, it's away for Spurs.
No, but we like away.
Spurs away form is good. That's no problem with that. And, you know, Forest in a bit of a tricky spot at the minute, not exactly in load of form. Liverpool at home, well, Christ almighty, you score a hatful against us, we're crap.
Is it the derby?
In game week 17. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I mean, at all. I don't look forward to any Liverpool game right now, but that is just a game that's got goals for Spurs written all over it.
Christmas as well. Let's not ruin Christmas. Just let us have the free
Sam, trust me, I'm already ruined mentally by my club. Doesn't matter about the Spurs game.
Darling.
Palace away in 18. Of course it's difficult, but by then Palace will be absolutely cooked because it'll be at the end of the Christmas period.
Yeah.
Then you've got the reverse fixture. You go to Brentford in 19, which of course is difficult, and then Sunderland at home in 20. So
if in doubt, rule out Brentford.
If in doubt, roll them out. So, I mean, listen, they are bang in the middle there, really, Spurs, in terms of the fixture difficulty rating for the next 5. But I'm here to tell you that Liverpool game is much easier than it looks on paper.
Well, I've got
and Palace might be a bit cooked. I don't think it's that bad for Spurs.
I got Kudus and Van der Ven. I'm keeping both of them. Can I just... because we love George, can I just offer a little bit of the opposite here? Because whilst...
he would love you too.
Because whilst we were great and Brentford weren't, and whilst, you know, if in doubt, roll out Brentford, they don't have to play us every week. Good news. You don't have to come and play us every week. I know that it's difficult, George, but from now for a couple of weeks, you don't have to play Spurs.
You can't preface...
So,
you can't...
I've done me top and everything.
You can't come up with a sentence that says, I'm just going to help George out a little bit, and then continue to rinse Brentford and George.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. However, the game is done for a little bit, George. So now you've got a couple of weeks before you play us again. I still think investing in Brentford is the right thing.
Okay.
I still think that despite this result, and despite the fact that we limited them, and despite the fact that our players played brilliantly, that the Brentford assets, the likes of Thiago, are the players to go to. And I'm still going to do that. One of my free transfers this week, and we could use this maybe to go into the pros and cons list. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I'm going to be doing over the next week.
Let's transition to it right now.
Here it is. Look at my list. Look at your list.
This is the 5 free. We've all got 5 free transfers. What do you want to do? I've got a couple of things I want to do. Here's Sam's shopping list of loads of stuff just for the podcasters. My list says just Virgil. That's just the comment. And then deal with Reinders, which frankly has been on the agenda for the last month. And I still haven't done it. So those 2 things I've got to do. Plus the third point that I did have on there, and you rightly deleted it, was because I was going to do Semenyo to Foden. I did it last night. I did it last night because Semenyo was going down and Foden was going up. So I thought, let me just catch that point too and get that done. So I've done that. Your list reads like this. Sam, new goalkeeper, number 1. So you've got Pope to sort out. Mateta Thiago. I mean, for me, that's 2 absolutely nailed on things you've got to do.
Yeah.
Virgil out. 2.5 things you've got to do. Invest in Villa. Arsenal triple up. You need your third Arsenal. So that's 3 things you definitely got to do. And then is King the right cheapie? But I would say of that list, there's 3 you got of your 5. There's 3 things you have to do for next week.
But some of them could intertwine. Because
go on then.
a new
Go
goalkeeper could be Raya.
I see. Okay. Right. Okay.
Virgil out could be Matty Cash. So do you see what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So,
It could be two birds with one transfer.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, it could be like rolling out Brentford. We could just,
Stop having a go at Brentford. Right, stop. Honestly, George, try living with this. They have one good result. One good result, Spurs, and they think they're back at it. Unbelievable.
The best thing about it was that George and I took Evie dancing on Saturday morning.
Are you going to keep having a go at George?
No, because we're talking in the Slack. I love the Slack. I love the Slack so much. George and I are chatting in the Slack on Saturday morning. I'm at dancing. Evie and I are in the cafe waiting for her to go in. And George is going, what do you think the result's going to be? And I'm like, 3-1 Spurs. And then Georgie says, I think it's going to be 2-1 Villa. And I'm like, Evie, what do you think? And she's like, 2-1 Spurs. It's just a load of banter going on. And George is just probably getting it in the net from both of us. That is why the Slack is such a lovely place to be. If you're not a Slacker, you should come and join the Slack. It's great. And George knows I love him. But I think with this list of things that I need to do, this is why I haven't done anything yet. So unlike you, I've got 5, I must spend one immediately on the day.
Yeah.
I've got 5 and gone.
I was like a kid in the sweet shop. I was like, right, 5. Let's just spend.
I must admit there was something lovely about opening the app and seeing those 5 transfers there.
Great.
I have gone the opposite way though. I want to be really careful with what I do with mine because I genuinely look at that list and it's overwhelming the amount of things I want to change in my team. But I do think with 2 transfers I can deal with 85% of that list.
So Virgil out to Matty Cash would tick off 2 of them, and Pope to Raya would also tick off 2.
2. So with 2 transfers, I could tick off 4 things on those lists.
Yeah.
On that list.
But Mateta to Thiago's got to happen as well.
Well, that's fine. I've got 5. I can do 3 transfers. Yeah. So with 3 transfers, I've dealt with all of that list apart from is Josh King the best?
Here's a nice question from Mr. Tendai81. Thank you, Mr. Tendai. He says, real question is here. Strategically then, what's the best use of these? Is it just to go, right, bang, all 5 done? Or, this is not like a free hit. This is not like a... And you guys will all know this, right? You're all engaged FPL managers. This is not you've got 5 free transfers for this week to sort your team out. This is we've topped you up to 5. Do with them what you want. I mean, you can spend 1 and just roll the other 4 over and have 5 again next week if you want. You can just keep them in the bank for when you need them if you're happy with your team. It just so happens that we, and you in particular, are not happy with our team, so we want to spend them.
I had this exact conversation with Max today because obviously Max is engaged, but an engaged casual, as in like he's new to the game.
Yeah,
he's learning the game.
Yeah. He's 10, so yeah.
So
12.
I was going to say he's
our daughter's 10.
Our daughter's 10. So today he said, Mum, I've got 5 free transfers. I said, yes. No, because obviously he's not paid attention to the fact that AFCON's giving you... Well, I've got 5. Well,
yeah, he didn't know, did he?
Yeah. So we're walking through the shops, going for lunch, and he's like, do I spend them all now? No. Don't spend them all now. Well, when do they go? I said, they won't go. As long as you use 1, you'll always have 5. He was like, what, for the whole season? Yes, exactly that. So you've got 2 choices here. You've got 5 free transfers. You can keep them in the bank and you spend 1 every week. And then by the time you get to game week 38, you've got 5 to play with. Or... you can say, I've got problems and I'll deal with those problems and I'll take 2 or 3 or 4 or all 5 of them this week.
Yeah.
There is not a right answer here. He actually then asked a very sensible question. I don't know if you heard it. He went, well, when does AFCON end? Because I might want those players in. So do I hold some for AFCON ending?
He's learning. Proud of him.
I'm proud of him. Very proud. Very proud FPL mum. And he said, and I said, that's a good question because yes, you might want to get, I mean, I don't think it'll be Salah, but you might want to get Ndai or somebody coming back from AFCON back into your team. So yeah, maybe it's worth keeping 1 or 2 till January.
Okay.
My personal view is you do what is right for your team at the moment. I think I will do 2 this week.
Okay. What are your 2 priorities? What are you thinking?
I don't think Virgil is a key priority right now.
Home to Brighton. I mean,
I think Virgil is
we're crap, but it's not must bang him out. Do you know what I mean?
The way I look at this is if I didn't have these 5 transfers, what would be my priority? It would be Thiago and it would be a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at Virgil and go, oh, that's a luxury transfer out. I could hold him 1 more week.
Yeah.
So I think they will be the 2 that I would do. And I think what I will do, likely, is go Mateta to Thiago and Pope to Raya. That feels like the sensible strategy for me to deploy at this point.
Okay. And I think from my perspective, Virgil, Yeah, I think everything we just said makes sense. The low key one that I know a lot of you out there will have that I don't have, which I think will be very handy over the next 3, given Fulham's fixtures, is Anderson. Fulham's defender Anderson, not the Forest guy. I think he can easily come in and get 3 clean sheets with Defcon in the next 3 because he's a Defcon monster, right? So we're talking about a player that could get, I don't know, 8 and 8, or somewhere between 8 and 10 points in over the next 3, right? So a very, very useful player to have. If you've got him, get on him. I think he's great, and I don't have him right now. Whether I do and Virgil to him, or whether I get him in some other way, I don't know. The other one is, well, if I go out with Reinders out, having just got Foden, I haven't got a ton of money to knock around with Reinders, right? I do like having a punt on something. Like, I'm still got that mindset of what I said last week, right? I hate my rank. I don't like the way this season's going. Just a punt on someone like Harry Wilson for the next 3. Say he gets a couple of goals out of the next 3 games. And let's remind ourselves, right? Here's the reason I want to punt, because Fulham's next 3, Burnley, Forest, West Ham, right? And then even Crystal Palace, Liverpool's not terrible. But then next 3 just feels like you can go for a punt on someone like Harry Wilson, given that I've got Reinders and I don't like him anyway. Do you know what I mean? Just it feels massively punty, but with the 5 free transfers, I feel like I can do it. So that's what we're thinking, guys. That's what we're thinking. Get in the chat. Let us know in the comments. 5 free transfers. Are you just going on an all-out splurge, or are you going to save them up a little bit and start thinking a bit more longer term with them? Very interested to see. Let's talk scores for this week then. Another pretty crap week for me, to be honest with you. 38.
You aren't done, though.
I've got Fernandes to go, which I
feel like we say this every week.
It feels like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? I feel like every week I'm sitting there going, well, I've done crap and I'm waiting for Fernandes to turn my arrow green, right? I was 1.1 before the beginning of this week and I'm now 1.33. Yeah, whatever, 38 points. It's just a bit crap, isn't it? Tarkovsky and Gahey, very good. So for the podcast, I should say Raya 2, Timber 3, Virgil 2, Tarkovsky 9, Gahey 8 at the back. Good. Saka 4, Semenyo 4, Reinders 1, and then Bruno Fernandes to come tomorrow. Haaland cap 4, Thiago 2. And the bench is nothing to write home about either. So, game week rank of 6.8. Yeah, no good whatsoever. No good whatsoever. 1.4 million in the bank. And as you can see there, 4 free transfers, because one of the transfers I've already made, as I said before, is Semenyo to Foden. I've got that done. So, the team for next week is exactly as I've just said, but yeah, Foden coming in for Semenyo. Right now, Sam, I have my captain's armband on Bukayo Saka right now. Mm-hmm. Right now. I haven't decided that yet. And of course, we've got a week of European football to worry about as well. But Wolves at home just looks like too good a fixture to turn down, doesn't it? And I don't even mind it. If there's anyone out there considering captaining Timber this week, I also don't mind that either. I do not mind it, given that Haaland's having, by his standards, a bit of a dry spell, right? So at the moment it's on Saka. I'm sure there'll be at least one more transfer in this team. At least one more, because I don't like the fact I've got to play Josh King. Even though it's away at Burnley, and I think he'll probably get the start, actually. It's a sort of game where I think Marco Silva might roll him out. But Reinders to Harry Wilson. I'm putting Harry Wilson in there instead of King as a bit of a differential against Burnley. Is King enough? King to Wilson feels a bit sideways, potentially. I don't know. But I am considering that. Definitely considering that. Let's talk about your score for this week, though. 47. Not bad at all. But you are done. You are all out on 47.
Yeah, and unlike you going, I need Bruno to save my game week, this is the 3rd game week in a row where I'm going, I need Manchester United to be poor.
Yeah.
And I've just noticed, while you were talking, I was just looking at the fixtures for next weekend. It's happening again.
United are last up again on Monday.
In fact, and I was surprised to see
3 Mondays in a row for United. It's mad,
it's Monday, Thursday, Monday. Because they played last on Thursday night.
You're right.
It's madness. It's 4. And in fact, next week I was looking
United
at
fans would be fuming
TV games. There's only 2 not on the telly. You'll be glad to know it's yours. It's not on the telly.
Good.
So that's
okay,
good. But Manchester United, the last game again. So yeah, for me, 47. Dubravka with 3. Thank you very much, Martin. You saved the day at a time where...
What, with 3?
Look, listen, Lee, when you don't have a goalkeeper and you're relying on your 4.0...
It's a small wins, isn't it? We're taking it.
I'm taking the wins.
We'll take it. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, so for the podcast, I'll run through it. So Dubravka with 3, Virgil with 2, Gahey with a magnificent 8, Timber with 3, Saka with 4, Anderson 4, Foden 12. He was my transfer in this week.
Nice.
So that was good. Kuda's unbelievably somehow has only got 3. Haaland cap 4, Mateta 2, Voltamada 2. So the whole game week saved by the fact that Foden and Gahey decided that they were going to turn up. The bench though, Pope with 0, obviously. That's why Martin Dubravka was getting the start every week. Van der Ven with 6, Senesi with 8, and Josh King with 1. Honestly, I didn't see a clean sheet for either Spurs or Bournemouth. No. I honestly didn't.
Yeah, totally.
So I benched them both. I knew I might be benching defensive contribution points for Senesi, but I was okay with that, given that I actually thought Chelsea might score a lot. So I was like, well, Bournemouth have been poor. Chelsea might put at least 2 past them, so he's probably only going to get 2 at best. Van der Ven, honestly, I thought he probably would get 2, maybe 1, because I thought Bournemouth would score.
Brentford.
Sorry, Brentford. Oh yeah, I've got to roll them out. So thought Brentford would score. So there we are. I'm sorry, Mickey. I love you. I hope you still love me. Going into next week, my team currently is set up with. I haven't made any transfers yet. So at the moment,
you've got your 5 frees and you've got 0.7 in the bank. So a little bit of money to play with.
I have, but I have made a few tweaks. So for next week, I've currently got Virgil on the bench because I don't trust.
Absolutely fine.
Don't live
totally with it.
In fact, yeah. So at the moment, I'm looking like Virgil on the bench with Van der Ven, Gahey, and Timber playing.
Sorry, I should go to this one, shouldn't I? There we go. There's your bus team for
there
next
you
week.
Go. With Virgil, and then Saka, Anderson, Foden, and Kudus with Haaland, Voltamada, and Mateta.
You've got the captaincy on Saka as well.
I am really 50-50.
Palace are going to be shattered, aren't they? Haaland going there.
I am really 50-50. Not on the captaincy.
On the triple.
On the triple.
Whoa. So he's definitely going to be Saka.
Having said... a few weeks ago, I'm never going without Haaland again.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to do it. I hate Bukayo Saka because it was him I gave it to.
A few weeks ago, just like,
remember the
I
rant?
am never going against Haaland again. I did it. It's killed me.
Ruined the game.
Ruined it. It's so boring. FPL's just terrible because we all just have to captain Haaland all the time.
And then I went on the Q&A, and Az and I both ranted about it. And now here we are.
You can't triple captain Saka. I'm not sure you can do that. I'm not sure about that.
So heading into this week, I'd had 2 nice green arrows. Currently, I'm on a nice green arrow. In fact, before auto subs, I'm inside the top 3 million. Honestly, if you look back, so when I was putting together the last slide that Lee had up, the one with the game week 15 rank on it.
Yeah.
The last time I played in that formation was game week 13, I think.
Yes.
And I was at 6 point something.
Yeah.
And now I'm at just over 3 million because the auto subs will throw it out because a lot of people are getting some jam with Munoz, who's got a knee problem.
Just for avoidance of any doubt. He has a knee problem.
Yes. He's got a knee problem and Spurs roll over Brentford. Yeah. Just for the avoidance of doubt of what I've talked about today. So I am actually really pleased. I'm low-key pleased. So even the fact that my rank is still shocking, at least I'm moving. I'm moving in the right direction. And I look at the opportunity next week. Unless Wolves are brilliant against Manchester United, please be brilliant, because that means another blank for the players that can hurt me.
Unless Wolves are brilliant. Do you appreciate what you just said there?
Lee.
I mean, there might be. But,
Lee, I clutched at straws last Monday night when they played Everton.
And you got away with it.
And I got away with it.
Yeah.
I clutched at straws last Thursday night when they played... Can't even remember who it was.
Is this United?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
And I got away with it.
Yeah.
And I'll clutch at straws again tomorrow night, and we'll see if we get away with it. I don't know, I'm really tempted to triple captain him. I think I will probably bottle it, and I'll just go with the captaincy.
Do you know what would be wild?
What?
Do you know what would be wild and a season changer?
What?
Triple captain Timber.
No, I don't want to do that, Lee.
That would be wild.
I don't want to do that. If I'm doing it...
I don't mind that at all.
Well, go on then.
Oh, triple captain Timber.
You didn't even trust Timber enough to own him for weeks.
That's a fact.
How are you triple captaining him? I think I'll bottle it. Because the reason I think I'll bottle it is because I think Phil Foden has You know that meme where the guy's walking along looking at that other girl and the girlfriend's like that?
Yeah. Great meme. Yeah.
I feel like I'm the guy. My head spun 360 for Phil Foden.
Yeah, he's on fire, isn't he?
And
he's on fire.
And now I'm thinking, because I saw Saka as my opportunity for rank gain.
Yes.
Oh, but now Philip. Yeah. I see Phil as my opportunity.
And as the chat rightly says, Lee, Timber, reasonable chance he plays centre half again if the two lads are out. So don't do that. Yeah, thank you, chat. You're right. Put me back in the box. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
You roll over with Brentford.
Poor old Brentford. Oh, I've done it again. Hold on. Wait a minute. I've done it again. Main screen. There we go. So there we go, guys. That is the pod. That is the video for this week. Rank's still a little bit crap, to be honest with you. We're in game week 15 now, Sam. So it is getting to the point where we do need to start.
Game week 20.
Listen, in game week 1, I think we said game week 10. And in game week 10, we said give it 5 more weeks. We're now there and we're saying game week 20.
I said to Az January. I said to Az, by January we need to be at 500k. That's what I said to Az.
We'll start talking about ranks in game week 37. Let's do May.
No, let's go January. We've got to be at 500k by January. That's what Az and I decided. That's where we're aiming. That's where I'm aiming anyway. You do what you like. You aim for first.
Well, yeah, I'm always aiming for first, but, never going to get there. Talk the good people through what is coming up this week.
I'm doing off the bench this week.
Are you? Fabulous news, okay.
Spurs won.
Happy days.
So I'm going to do off the bench this week with Gianni, which is be lovely. I don't think I've done any content with Gianni this season so far, so I'm looking forward to that. Nice little chat with him, especially as Chelsea didn't win. That'll be nice. So a little chat with Gianni on Tuesday morning to review game week 15. 15.
Losing track of game weeks. It's coming thick and fast.
Mad, isn't it?
It's that time of the season.
And it's only going to get worse, Lee. And then on Thursday, I'll be back with Jules and Kels. We'll be previewing game week 16. We'll be back with Ohana on Thursday evening for our patrons. If you aren't a patron yet, head over to patreon.com/FPLFamily and sign up as a free member, and that will get you access to our Ohana podcast. They come out every Thursday. We basically talk about what we're doing. And actually this week's I think could be quite an interesting one because as you've seen, I have a whole list of things I need to be doing. So by Thursday I might have decided what I'm doing, so we'll be going through that. And then we will be back on Sunday night when I've done all those things to review the game ahead of what is then going to be a real chock-a-block busy period, because then we start to get into the real busyness that is Christmas and the Christmas chaos.
All right, there we go, guys. That is the show for this week. Thank you for joining us here tonight's FPL Family. Like, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. I'm going to go and check what cell they've got Daniel Munoz in. Until next week, we will see you this time next Sunday at 9 p.m. for another FPL Family. See you then. Cheers,
Bye, guys.